My name is Jake Bailey. I'm the owner of Rite Brothers Clothing. I did everything on my own, and I thought I had to think of a name, so I was trying to think, well, what is something that I stand for? Like, what is a story that I can connect to that I think other people can connect to? So I started researching the Rite Brothers. I think I just stumbled upon them on Twitter one day. I don't really know how I came across the Rite Brothers story, but I was actually watching a TED Talk, and one of the guys was talking about leadership and how the Wright brothers were really the first innovators of leadership and of this style of leadership. And in 1903, the Wright brothers set out to create the first airplane. And at the same time in New York, there was a guy named Samuel Pierpont Langley who was backed by the government. The government was giving him thousands of dollars a month. The New York Times followed him around everywhere. He was taught at the Smithsonian and at Harvard, so he had a lot of connections. So he really had every single resource available. But he wasn't trying to create the airplane for the right reason. He was doing it for the fame and for the fortune and for the recognition. But the Wright brothers, 1,000 miles away in Ohio, were in the middle of a field with no education, no money, no support, just out there every day working hard to change the world. And that's the reason that they succeeded. So on December 3rd, the Wright brothers created the first airplane, and the next day Samuel Pierpont Langley closed shop and never tried to create anything again. So I thought that was a real testament to what I wanted to do was, work hard and really create this company out of nothing. The biggest challenges have been being naive to the entire process. I didn't come in as an expert in streetwear. I really didn't know that much about it other than what my personal taste was. I didn't know much of the culture behind it. I didn't know what most of the trends were. So the hardest part was just learning as I went. That was the most rewarding part, but that and understanding who I can trust. I had web people before the guy I have now who ended up screwing me over. Before I found Kyle, I really didn't know where my designs were going. So I just felt pretty lost throughout the whole process until you meet certain people who can guide you in the right direction. And if it weren't for Derek and Howard at the Green Street Vault and it weren't for Kyle, this wouldn't be nearly what it was. The designs wouldn't be there, the retail wouldn't be there. Just the drive to help me go wouldn't be there. We stand for something. There are very, very few streetwear companies out there that have a story to tell. They all maybe have a creative name, they have a cool logo, but how far does that get you? Is that sustainable? I don't think so. I think that people get tired of the same thing. People get tired of mediocrity, and I think that Wright Brothers has something behind our name. So I know that when people wear our stuff, they go out there and they tell people, this is Wright Brothers, this is the company, because we have a message and we have something that we stand for. We stand for passion, we stand for people's drive and their motivation. So when they wear our clothing, they're wearing that drive and that passion and that motivation. And that's, I think, what's going to set us apart is that we're not just a company, we're not a clothing company, we're bigger than that. We're a brand, we're a story. And that's like the coolest thing that I've learned through all this.